Hey everyone! Today we're diving deep into the incredible hidden world that makes all our online shopping even possible. We're going to follow one single steel box on its epic journey through the absolute nerve center of global trade, the modern container port. So get ready for a world of giant machines, mind-bending logistics, and some seriously cool automation.
I mean, think about it. That phone you're holding, the coffee on your desk, well, guess what? They almost certainly pass through a place just like this. The journey from a factory halfway across the globe to your front door is this absolute miracle of coordination, and it all hinges on the breathtaking efficiency of these massive hubs.
Okay, so to really get our heads around how this all works, we're going to follow our container through the three main zones of the port. First up, from the ship to the shore, which they call the berth. Then we'll navigate the massive maze of containers in the yard. And finally, we'll see it head out the gate and on its way to the rest of the world. All right, let's dive in.
So our container's journey starts the second this massive ship carrying literally thousands of boxes docks at the port. And this is where the first super critical handoff happens, moving our container off the vessel and onto solid ground.
And meet the star of the show, the quay crane. I want you to think of it like a giant, high-stakes claw game, but one that's lifting up to 40 tons with millimeter precision. Its one and only job is to reach out over that ship, lock onto a container, and lift it safely down to the dock. It's incredible to watch.
And you know, as container ships have ballooned into these floating skyscrapers, well, the cranes have had to evolve right along with them. They need a much longer reach to get across the whole width of the ship, and they have to be way taller to clear the stacks of containers on deck. It's this constant arms race between shipbuilding and port engineering.
Okay, so our container has made it to the dock, but its journey is just getting started. Now it's heading into the real heart of the port, this massive, sprawling grid called the container yard, where it's got to be sorted and stored.
And this is where a whole different crew of machines takes over. The three main players you'll see are the rubber-tired gantry crane, or RTG, the rail-mounted gantry crane, or RMG, and then there's the super-agile straddle carrier, which literally drives right over the top of a container to pick it up.
Now, what's really interesting here is that different ports and different companies choose different tools for the job. You've got the RTG, which gives you tons of flexibility to move around. Then there's the RMG, which runs on rails and is perfect if you're a port that's really tight on space. And then you have a giant like Merck's, who often goes for straddle carriers because they're fast even though they cause more wear and tear on the pavement.
You know, for decades, this whole complex dance of cranes and trucks, it was all run by people. But now, there's a massive tech revolution happening, turning these manual operations into this incredible symphony of automated precision.
But here's the thing. Before you could even bring in the robots, the ports themselves actually had to change their whole layout. Some of the older ports used this indented berth design. It was kind of clever for its time, but it was a total nightmare for automation. Modern ports, they're built on a simple, straight, linear model that's just perfect for robots.
The conductor of this whole automated orchestra is something called the Terminal Operating System, or TOS. It is the central brain, the air traffic controller for the entire port. Think about it. Using AI, it knows exactly where every single box is and where it needs to go next, sending out instructions to the whole automated fleet in real time.
Now, this TOS isn't working in a vacuum. It's commanding a whole suite of amazing technologies. You've got automated guided vehicles, AGVs, that basically replace truck drivers, the AI that's constantly optimizing all the routes, IoT sensors on literally every piece of equipment, and of course the super fast 5G or even 6G networks that act as the nervous system for the whole operation.
So you'd think automation is just about one thing, speed, right? Making everything faster. Well, the reality is a little more complicated, and it really shows you the true strategy behind this massive investment.
So check this out, because this might actually surprise you. If you put a really skilled, top-tier human crane operator head-to-head with a current automated crane, the human usually wins. A skilled person can pull off about 35 moves an hour, while the automated system is hovering around 25.
But, and this is the key, this is where the big trade-off comes in. That human operator, they work an 8-hour shift. The machine, it works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It never gets tired, it never takes a coffee break, and it never goes home.
So you see, the big takeaway here is that ports are trading that peak human speed for relentless, non-stop machine consistency. The goal isn't a faster hour, it's a more productive day, week, and year with way fewer errors and accidents.
So what's next? I mean, where does it go from here? Well, with land on the coasts getting more and more expensive and crowded, some of the most forward-thinking engineers are looking out to the ocean for the next big thing.
And that brings us to this wild idea, the floating terminal. Instead of building on land, you build the entire port on a massive floating platform. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's a radical idea that could totally solve the traffic jam problem that so many coastal cities are facing.
Now, an idea like this has some pretty incredible pros. They're super flexible, you can move them where they're needed, and they can even service ships from both sides at once. But, of course, it's not that simple. There are some major hurdles. They're not as stable in rough weather, and the platform might not be able to handle the immense weight of those truly gigantic quake rains that you need for the biggest ships.
And that really leaves us with this huge final question. Our world isn't getting any bigger, but our appetite for goods just keeps growing. The complex dance of steel boxes that we've looked at today is only going to get more intense. The future of how we get, well, everything, might just hang on the answer to this question. As our coasts get more crowded, will our future ports need to float on the sea?